All right, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? I just want to walk you through another very simple step that I believe will help you be more successful, both in my class and in other classes, including college. Today we're going to talk a little bit about annotation, but I'm not going to go through the why of annotation and the how of annotation. I just want to go through the very simple stuff, and then we'll talk about the rest of that next week. The next an assignment that we're going to be doing right now is I'm going to ask you to read this article called The Deepening Page, which is the first chapter of a book um, by a guy named Nick Carr called The Shallows, What the Internet is Doing to Our Brain. The only problem is if you click on this document, you will see that it is kind of weird to read. Like you will have to scroll down, and you can certainly do so if you're comfortable with it. There's certainly, a way you could effectively kind of read this and scroll down, but there's a better way, and I just want to show you what that is today. There's a way you can both download it as well as make some comments on it, because I really, if any studies show that annotating helps comprehension, and I really want you to understand this. And this is a difficult text, and it's a type of test you're going to see in college where there are words that are kind of unfamiliar and it's about some higher conceptual stuff. So, anyways, what you're going to do is you're just going to hover your mouse over the document, and when you do, you'll get all these little icons. And if you're in the library and you'd rather have paper, you could totally just print it out as well if you want to print that 20-page document. That's a possibility. But I'm going to go paperless. I'm going to kill less trees. So anyways, I'm going to just press this little disk button, which if you didn't know, back in the day, we used to save stuff on floppy disks, and that's what that's a picture of. Maybe you should update it to a thumb drive or a cloud. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to click save, and when I do, it'll bring me this window, and I got to figure out where I want to save it. And I don't know where the default is on yours, but mine is documents. If I click save, it'll save it, and then we'll be good to go. After you get that saved, what you're just going to do is go ahead and find that document. Whoopsie. And like I said, mine is in my documents folder, which is right here. And let me just go ahead and double click. All right, so here's a document. It's in a bigger window, plenty of screen real estate where you can read. And again, even if it's too small, you can always blow it up. Maybe you want to read it like this big. Wow, that's super big. Look at how big those words are. Obviously impossible though. Let's get back here. All right, 125 looks good. So what you're going to do is you can then read the document. And for this one, you can really stop there. I'm not requiring that you annotate, but I just want to show you how just in case it will help you. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to read blah, 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 the deepening page. When people first began writing things down, they'd scratch their marks on anything and so on and so forth. When we read and annotate, we make notes for ourselves to help us in comprehension. Maybe it's a question, maybe it's a comment, maybe it's just a visceral reaction to what we're reading. The way you do that is with this comment button up here. So if you press that comment button up here, it will give you some options. So what I'm going to do is just drop down this little annotation. And without getting into it, there are different types of PDF documents. This is more like a picture of a piece of paper that somebody took. So some of these tools will not be available. Whereas if it were a text document brought directly into I'm explaining something you probably don't need to know. So I'm just going to click this button right here, which is this button right here, which is my add text comment. And if I go here and click, I can totally be like, oh yeah, that reminds me of, or wonder if, or this is saying that. And if you go through the article and you go ahead and do that, it's really going to help you in your comprehension. And again, when you read, you can either read to get done with an assignment or read to process the information and really understand it. And I know how intelligent you are, and I know you're going to opt for the latter because reading isn't about flipping the last page of the article. It's about learning, it's about processing, and it's being able to apply that information to the way you already understand the world. So, good luck, Godspeed. Do you have any questions? You know where to find me. Toodles.